and welcome, dear viewers, to a brand new episode of your show, The Untold. My name is Daij Al-Hoteri, joined my colleague Hiba Al-Qahtani. How are we doing today?
Well, we're doing really great, and hopefully everyone is really excited to know more about today's episode.
Yes, today's topic is very interesting and important for everyone. We have to know more about all the new technology, cybersecurity, to protect ourselves from hackers and all the issues happening online. So basically it's going to be interesting and useful, full of knowledge.
Yes, indeed. And I'm very sure in today's episode you're going to know more about these kind of, let's say, situations that happens and occur to most of us, and recall these kind of, let's say, situations for the future in order for you to not fall within these mistakes.
All right, so stay with us, dear viewers. We'll be back with our guest, ALNakkas. Welcome back, dear viewers, to the studio, and of course we would like to welcome our guest ALNakkas. Welcome, it's a pleasure having you here with us. Today we are going to get to know more about the future, right? Cybersecurity and all the IT stuff, so welcome.
Thank you, and I'm really thrilled to be a guest for the Untold story of this episode today.
Right, definitely. We're going to get to know his untold story in just a minute, so yes.
So we want to know more about you, let's say, starting from the beginning and choosing your career. Like, what made you major and why you major and present yourself today?
I've been in this business in IT since 20 years plus. It's a passion. It's my career, it's my job. But during all this period, I didn't deal with my job as just a morning job that I have to attend and do my task. No, it's a passion, something I love, something I enjoy. Till today, I really enjoy, after all these years of career and the services, I feel that it's very enjoyable.
Yes.
I mean, as long as you're doing something you're passionate about, then that's the deal. That's
this is what I always recommend for my colleagues and the new staff that they're joining our organization, that don't deal with the job that this is your someone forcing you to attend every morning and you do something you don't like. It's a part of your life, it's part of your culture, it's part of your personality. So enjoy it, try to learn, try to be exposed for the new technology. And since now we are in 2024, a lot of new technology. I guess one of the topics that is very interesting is the ChatGPT.
Yes. And also robots and all these kind of new stuff.
Yeah, I have been invited to Kuwait University. Actually, they had a week of AI and cybersecurity. And I really enjoy one of the projects that has been done by a Kuwaiti student. They create a robot. And this robot actually, it's a nurse actually. So it has a sensor that it can measure your height. It can it has a sensor for measuring the temperature, and they are doing a new phase of it that it can read the blood pressure. Yeah. So it's very amazing, and the way that they invest in this robot, and actually the way it looks, it's $100,000 robot, $100,000 of robot. It's a Kuwaiti made, and it's very interesting project.
This is interesting, scary at the same time, but it's so robots enhanced with AI is something different, quite different.
Yeah, and the way that the future and toward the coming maybe 5 years with the development of the AI and the adopting of this kind of technology, I guess the Kuwait, the entire country of Kuwait, it will be changed.
Hopefully for the best.
Yes, indeed. Especially if we're talking about new generation. I mean, they're really into AI, and this is something very important. Like, even when it comes into educators and schools, we're actually even, let's say, presenting that kind of sense of matter. Even when it comes into many different illustration, you cannot, let's say, teach them nowadays within the old traditional method, but you have to introduce AI. I mean, ChatGPT mentioning that kind of, let's say, method nowadays. It's actually even being presented in the classroom, asking AI about a certain matter for a certain, let's say, whether it's an equation or a homework for them to know. So our job today is not to tell them about, let's say, these updates, but to tell them how to use them
Yes.
and how to find the right information through the networking itself.
I guess the way that Minister of Education in Kuwait, they feel and reading the future, this year curriculum for computer classes, actually it has been changed. I've been exposed to it and I saw part of it. The first topic, chapters of the new curriculum is talking about the cybersecurity, and I guess nowadays with this all threats and the way that we are using the internet and accessing and how the devices are spread between all generation and all ages. Now the technology is starting from like 2 years old kids up to the senior citizen. Most of them, they are using the internet and they are exposed for new threats and dangers.
And this brings us to the main topic of the day, cybersecurity. Now, definitely you have been through a untold story of cybersecurity issue, right? So we would like to hear some of it.
Yeah, actually, now there are so many threats that happening in daily basis, and most of us will receiving receiving messages through SMS or even WhatsApp. Either they're asking us for updating our information. So one incident is called, it's a part of the cybersecurity attacks, it's called the social engineering.
Okay.
So actually this incident happened here in Kuwait. One of the ladies, she's a team leader in one of the company, and she have a team of 5 and 6 of her colleagues and staff. And they are responsible for preparing RFBs, or what they are preparing for a tender, to apply for the company for a tender. One big of tenders is around maybe 1 million KD. So she have very sensitive information. She has a very sensitive role in the company, and the board are expecting that this company or their company gonna to win this tender. So one morning and one day, she received a call through her telephone disk, and someone, he represent himself as a technical support.
All right.
And he explained for her that, I know that you are Sarah, you are now in challenge that to do the RFB and you have some pressure. But actually, what he tried to convince her after, he told her all about her, that he know.
So now she's convinced because he knows
because
all the information.
He passed some information about her, and it's true information. So he gained the trust. After that, he told her that we have critical updates for your computer. So we need to access your PC so we can update it with a new batch of files. So he guided her in some steps that she have to open, close, and update. She opened like the C drive and all of these steps, which is true. After that, he asked her for her credential. The credential is the login name and password. He told her and he convinced her, and she trusts him because he's a technical.
And he already done like few steps, correct steps. So he again.
Yeah, someone, he called you and he told you, I am from the bank and you are. This is your name, full name, and this is your bank account. So definitely you're gonna trust him.
Yes.
So actually, what he did, the social engineering, that he knows all this information. After that, he guided her. Then he asked her for the credential. Actually, Sarah, she passed her username and the password. With a few steps, true steps about installing the application and updating. Actually, what he did, he just installed some viruses, and he installed some controlling application that he have the access remotely, so he can control it. After that, they just closed the call, and she was happy that her PC was updated. What happened the next day, that she noticed that there are some files are missing. The files that belong to this tender has been disappeared, and some change in information that suddenly disappears. So she started panic and she contacted the IT again, and she told them that I had yesterday call from the tech support, and definitely the response from the technical support, no, sorry, we didn't make the call, we didn't request any update, so now they are in the scenario.
And we can never ask for your username and password.
Yeah, definitely. This is the basic of any calls. Don't pass your information. And actually, what Sarah did, she helped the hacker to install application that it's control and stealing this sensitive information.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
But yes, it's tricky. You have to go through a lot of practice
Don't
and training.
Trust. Don't pass your information. So my advice in this kind of situation or this kind of social engineering, be careful with your username, password. And if you got any call that someone he requests your data, your OPT or this kind of information, your social, your civil ID number or your address, don't pass it. Try to use a multi-factor authentication that you have two-way to authenticate your rather than just your username password. Yes. You have to have like a OTP, and always don't trust any calls. Be sure that who's the party is calling you, to be sure that he's trustable.
So moral of the story: never share your personal information with anyone. Literally, it's.
I mean, even when you're really, let's say, into the point that you're always keeping in your mind that you cannot be fooled, you have to always be up to date. But sometimes they always get that kind of, let's say, way, and let's say getting into these, let's say, situations, whether with elderlies or with mid-age. Like for instance, I had an incident. One of my friends just texted me through WhatsApp, and she told me that she has a problem with her let's say credit card, and she wanted to buy something, so she was like asking me could I buy it for her or purchase it for her. So I was like, yeah, sure. And then she asked me like, okay, can you please send me the card? And I was like, should I send her the card? If I told her like I will not send you the card, am I going to look like I'm a person who doesn't want to help? And that kind of, let's say, conflict. And then I was like recalling what happened. And I was like, she doesn't use this word. She doesn't use this phrase. And I immediately just called everyone like, do you have a message from this person? And everyone was like, yes. I was like, you know what? It's been hacked. No, don't respond to
this
it.
Kind of a threat is called phishing. So I just recall one story that also happened with one of my friend. He work a manager in his company. So one day while he having his coffee, and in the early morning, we just go through our email to check to see what's
the latest emails.
What's the email coming, someone to contact us. So suddenly he received an email with attachment. The attachment is a letterhead from the company, and the email is written in a professional way, the way that the company use it. And actually it has a link there. And through the link, they instruct him that we are the HR, the Human Resources Department. We need you to update your information since we are at the end of the year. So just click this link and follow the steps. So actually, what he did, he was in a hurry and he didn't check the email very well. So he clicked the link. It took him to another web page. And the web page belongs to the company. It has the logo. It has all the titles.
A similar website, but
it's the website of the company. So he have the fields that he have to enter his full name, his civil ID, his date of birth, and they ask him, we need to update your IBAN number. So just give us your IBAN. So actually, even like after a few, he fill it and he submit the document. He submit the information, but in a few days he noticed that he start receiving an SMS messages from the bank that he did a transaction, purchasing through online from outside Kuwait. So he after 2 or 3 messages with fail action and a payment has been processed around maybe 100 KD and less, and actually they did the 3 payments of total 300 KD. So he contacted the bank. He told them, I saw messages and I didn't do the purchase. What happened here that actually he been a victim of a phishing email. The email convinced him that we are the HR. He passed the information to a fake website. The website was not belong to the company, so
it looks like the one.
It's
the original
100. It's 100% looks. It's authentic of the company. So he passed the information. So he was a victim for a phishing email. It has a fake link, a fake information. They collect all his sensitive data, and from there they can the hacker
Easily access,
he had the success and access the financial account, and he was a victim for this kind of
that's why we have to be aware of all the received links and all these kind of things. But for now, let's take this really quick break and then continue talking about cybersecurity and all these kind of things. Thank you so much actually for this untold story. It was very interesting. All right, dear viewers, stay with us. We'll be back.
And we're back, dear viewers, to continue with our guests. So when it comes into dealing with the awareness, now we've been talking more about the situation, that circumstances that happen to certain people. We want to protect ourselves, and we don't want to, let's say, have these situations occur over and over again. What are the things that we should keep in mind?
The basic for the public, as we are citizen here of Kuwait, so I guess the basic things that we have to be aware and we used to do it, like the password. First thing is the password. Don't use a very simple password, 3 characters or 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, try to use a complicated one. Try to use minimum of 8 characters. It has big letters, small letters, numbers, figures, these stuff like hash or $sign. Don't make it easy, because there's some application that the hacker using to break the password. If you are using 1, 2, 3, it will take maybe a fraction of second to break it. So there is no harm, no effort by him to break it. So, but if you use around 11 character with lower uppercase numbers, it takes him around maybe 300 years just to break it. So the first defense line is the password. Use a complicated one. Don't write it in your contact or your mobile.
Yes, like don't say.
Try to use there is some application, a free application. Like if you are using iOS, there's a password application. It comes free from Apple, so use it.
Yes, it usually happens, and I hate to apply their passwords. I ask them to choose my own password, but it's complicated. It's just a very long numbers and letters.
It's a free service that you can use it, and it's like a directory. It's very safe and encrypted. There is another application. It's a Microsoft. They use a Microsoft Authenticator. It's also free application. Just download it in your mobile and just write any password. And don't use the same password for all your application, not for your bank account or for your LinkedIn, Gmail. Usually what happens if you are like dealing with one of these shopping centers or shopping portals, and this company, they don't invest in the cybersecurity, so usually they've been hacked because of the lack of the cybersecurity. And the first step, the hacker, he just take the entire username, password, bank account. So if he figure out your login name or your password through one account, he can use it and he can deploy it with your to different services or to any portal. He try to use the same password, because we are a human, and he knows the hacker. He's very educated that it's difficult for us to change it. So most of us are using the same password for many applications. So be careful with your password. Don't use it. Try to, for every platform, to use a different password. And the third thing is there is the multi-factor authentication.
Oh, yes.
That it's linked. Usually we can see it in our financial or online banking. Usually they use the OTP. This is kind of authentication, not just using the username password plus the multi-factor. You can use it with your social accounts, because most of us are using a WhatsApp. And whenever you are here that one of your friends has been account or his account has been compromised, be sure that he didn't activate the multi-factor authentication.
So these are some of the strategies.
This is the basic things.
Basic strategies. Do we have any advanced ones, or we have to stick with these three times? Never share the personal information.
Don't share your password. If you are working in any organization, don't use your username or password to share it with you among your friend.
Create a complex password, and also use the two-way.
Try to change it every 30 days, 60 days.
Like this is what happens.
You know what's the problem? You're going to forget your password.
No, I'm just going to tell you about
You have to write it down.
The thing that happens, because when you're using your phone, some phones has the let's say face identification. So sometimes you write the password and then it asks, like the phone asks you, do you want me to save the password with your face recognition? So I always say yes. This is where I started to forget my password.
Yes.
It's like when I want to sign in, it's like, what's the password? And then just find face recognition in order for it to sign in, which is something, unfortunately, not really great, because you're keeping all these password phones, password words in your phone, which can easily be hacked by anyone.
And there's an addition to that. Now you can actually take a photo of a barcode so that it have access
the QR
code.
The QR actually the hackers they are so smart, as I said. So nowadays they start using the QR to guide you or to take you to a fake website. And I guess many incidents happen here, that when you visit any restaurant, and since Corona, they don't use the menu anymore, so they just
by the QR code.
Oh yeah.
They give you a QR that you have to scan it, and from there it will guide you. And actually, I saw a couple videos in the state happening that one of the hackers or these intruders, they just create their own QR, they post it in the public, the public parking, or the parking there, you have to pay some fees for it.
Yes.
So you just park your car and you go there to scan the code to pay the parking fees. So actually you are not paying the ministry or the municipality, you are paying a hacker that at the same time he collect your data, your bank account, and this has happened outside Kuwait. And here, even in Kuwait, we recommend that don't scan any QR unless you trust it. Even if you are in a restaurant, just be sure, ask the waiter, is this your QR, and is it safe to use it? And the same thing if you are in like in the airport, and many lounges, the airport, they offer a free Wi-Fi.
Right.
So usually they ask you to do scanning. So what happened that while you are in the waiting for your flight, the next trip, maybe you have a transit of 8 hours, so you just turn your mobile on to search for a Wi-Fi. So what hackers do, he just create a fake Wi-Fi, it's make it a public. He have his own router, his own laptop. So when you connect to his Wi-Fi, actually what he did, he's just collecting your information through his application. And sometimes you want to do like reserve the hotel, or you do want to upgrade your
maybe the flight.
Yes. So you just entering your bank account. So he collected, and when he reached his destination, he just
unload his stuff
unload
and
his
the-
old data, and from
With a
there
full
he can
package.
figure out.
I mean, people would open their luggage for him. He'll just open all the information
Yeah,
that he
that's
gave.
it. This is what happens. So that's why we advise like don't use a free Wi-Fi unless you are trust the location. If you are on, just don't log into any free Wi-Fi. It's very dangerous.
Alright, so now we talked about the problems and all these issues, but now let's talk about a real life incident where cybersecurity actually helped to prevent a major issue, from your perspective.
Let's say now in any organization, they have to invest on the cybersecurity. They should have a strategy. They have to have policies. And now with cybersecurity and with the AI is very dangerous. Now most of the hackers or the threat actors, they are using AI nowadays. And there is an incident happening through the gaming, online gaming. Especially the kids, they've been they've been victim of bullying.
Oh yes, that's
One incident, there is one kid, he's around maybe 7 or 8 years. He's very active in online gaming. So what he did, that he just want to get introduced to new friends. He want to have a friends online. So he have his avatar. He choose some avatar that represent him in the online gaming. One day he just joined a different group. So at the beginning they welcome him, and by the time they start bullying on him they call him, starting calling a name because his avatar, it's as they call as their avatars. So they start naming him. They call him names. And they, whenever he lose like one stage or he lost the fight, because you know the kind of
yeah,
games.
definitely. I'm into gaming, so I understand. I totally understand.
Oh, okay. So
I
you
totally
know,
understand. Yes.
I'm not that expert in games, but
yes,
I've been
what you're
following
saying
this
is
issue
100%. Yes.
because the kids has been a victim of bullying. They start give him a names though. So he feel that he cannot compete with the others. He's not that he had the high level of gaming. So. And after they call him many names, you know how it affect his personal
Yes,
and
definitely. Especially kids. I mean, we still get that. I'm 30 and I still get people try to bully. So all you have to do is just block them and that's it. But for kids, it's different. It's a little bit difficult for them.
Yeah, my advice for the kids or the parents of the kids that they have to open a channel of discussion with him. If they notice that he have some issue, they have to understand
Yes.
what's going on
Yes.
and why it's happening.
And this is the most important thing, is to have that kind of connection, to have that kind of sense of talking and expressing yourself and thought, because this is very important to give them more of a safe environment to tell us about what's going on and what's happening, because some of the kids are really protective when it comes to
Yeah, my final advice, especially for these kind of cases, they have to educate the kids, or as a parents, they tell them that these kind of games, the online gaming, is not worth to bullying a person, even if he is a virtual playing behind the avatars, or even in the real life. They have to educate them in the way that we all are
Treat
human.
people how we would like to be treated.
Yeah, I guess this is the best
Yes, best example.
advice.
But yeah, I guess, yes, with that said, I guess we have reached the end of this lovely, interesting interview. To be honest, we can go on for hours and talk about this topic because it's something big right now. So yes, people can learn and we can get to know more about cybersecurity and all the things to help us prevent all these.
And actually, we didn't talk about cybersecurity very well because
I know, yes,
it's very different topic.
It's a huge topic.
It's a huge topic.
We enjoyed every bit of it. So thank you so much.
I really appreciate to be here, and I really enjoyed this hosting today. With the expert.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You are the expert. All right, so dear viewers, we will take this short break before we wrap the episode. Stay with us and we'll be back. right, with that being said, we have reached the end of this episode. It was beautiful.
Yes, indeed. It was very interesting and useful. Don't forget to join us in new different episodes, and goodbye.